Hey y'all, I haven't been on in quite a while, but I'm back. I'm gonna do a full face makeup tutorial. So I haven't done one of these in a long time. I think the last few tutorials I did, I had already done my base makeup and everything, and I just did the eyes. But today I am going to do the full thing. So first we're going to start with a little bit of primer. I'm going to start with the Tarte, this is the Base Tape Hydrating Primer. This is one of my favorite ones. I am going to take my ring off first. But this, it is in a pump. I just like to use 2 drops of it, just like that. Rub this together. This is kind of like moisturizing lotion for your face almost. But it does have some tackiness to it, which is really what helps your base makeup adhere to your skin better. It really locks it into place, lets it stick. So rub that in good. Then I'm going to go in with this e.l.f. Mineral Infused Face Primer. Again, just about 2 pumps. This one is like that typical like silicone-y, it's not really like greasy or oily, but it's very slick. Like it's hard to describe exactly what the texture of this is, but it is very like smoothing, and it gives you that blurring effect, kind of like the Smashbox photo finish. I would say this is your affordable dupe for the Smashbox version. But I just put this all over. I know that last year, I believe it was, Becca released a clear foundation. It was the Becca Zero. OJ, lay down. Cat's in here. And it had a very, actually it was identical to like the Photo Finish primer and like the e.l.f. Mineral Infused Primer. It really did not have a difference at all. It was supposed to be a no pigment foundation. It's not a foundation though. It is definitely a primer. Okay, so now that we have that laid down, we can go in with foundation. I'm actually going to mix 2 different foundations. The first one I'm going to use is the Juvia's Place I Am Magic. This is in the shade 710. And I'm just gonna... This is a very full coverage foundation, so I'm literally just going to do that tiny drop right there. Then the other foundation I'm going to go in with is the Tarte Amazonian Clay foundation. This is in 16N Fair Light Neutral. And again, just tiny little drop of both. And I'm going to mix the 2 of those together. So I'm going to take my beauty sponge here, mix those together really well. And we're just going to dot this all over. Alright, now I'm gonna go in, now that I have it laid onto the face, I'm gonna go in and start trying to buff and blend that in. Make sure you get your ears too, because you want them to match. Okay, so I know it still looks crazy right now, but I never finish blending with the sponge. I always go back in with a blending brush. So the blending brush that I use is this one right here. It's the e.l.f. massaging blending brush. Sorry, I gotta fix my light a little bit. Center this. Okay, so I take this and I just go in and you use circular motions and just really blend it. It just makes it very seamless. Okay. So now, after doing that, you want to go in with a little bit of concealer. So I use the Tarte Shape Tape. This is in 12 in Fair Neutral. So with your concealer, you always want it to be just a shade or two lighter than your foundation shade. That way you can highlight the high points of your face with it. And then for concealer, I like to go in with one of the mini sponges like this. That way you can get right up in to every tiny crevice. And the Shape Tape concealer, again, it is also very full coverage, just like the two foundations that I use. So I never like to use a whole lot of it, just enough to give me that extra coverage where it's needed, and that little bit of highlight. I don't like to pack it on just because it is very, very, very full coverage, and I feel like it can look a bit cakey if you put too much on. Okay, so there is that. Alright, so that is all of the cream products that I'm going to be using. So now I'm going to go in with my face powder. This is the Coty Airspun. I like to use this fluffy powder brush. Just get some, tap off excess. I like to set under the eye first. And then nose. I'm gonna put this back in here really quick and get some more out. Go over the forehead. Now with Coty Airspun, it is a translucent powder, but you can get quite a bit of flashback with it when using a camera. So you want to make sure that you're very light-handed with how much you're putting on each area. You don't want to cake it on because it'll appear as like a white ghostly cast when you go to take a photo with your flash on. Alright, and now to finish off under here, I'm just going to take the powder puff itself, just do like that, then take the brush and dust off any excess. So now for bronzer. Now bronzer is really not what I would call a necessity. It's more of a preference in my opinion, but because it is summertime, I do like to use it this time of year. So I'm going to be using the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. And just go around the perimeter of your face. So I do right around the hairline. OJ, can you stop playing with makeup? Thank you. And then right underneath the cheekbones. And bring that up. OJ. just like that. And then I do like to take kind of a smaller brush, usually something like this, just a fluffy blending brush. Take a little bit of that bronzer on there, and that's what I use to carve out my nose. So I just take a little bit and just go down the sides, just like that. This is just to get a light nose contour. Just like that. Okay. And then blush. So for blush, what I've been using lately is the Benefit, the California blush. It's just a shimmery peach. On the apples of your cheeks, bringing it all the way back. Right above that bronzer that you put right below your cheekbones. Now, a lot of people would go ahead and do highlighter at this point. I like to wait until after I've done my eyes, just because I feel like it's easier to make sure that you have a highlighter shade that's going to match whatever eye look you chose to do, and your lipstick shade. So for eyes today, I think I'm gonna go kind of neutral, so I'm gonna go in with the Tati Beauty palette. This is the Textured Neutrals. Okay, so let me see here. I'm gonna go in with the Sphera brush. It's just a fluffy blending brush. I'm gonna dip into Soothe. It's the lighter brown shade. I'm gonna do the matte formula, and we're just gonna put that right in the crease. And these eyeshadows are just so buttery, and they just blend out to perfection. Like, they are so easy to work with. I absolutely love this palette. I will say I don't really like to dive into the drama within the beauty community, but I will say I'm kind of not the biggest fan of Tati at the moment, and mostly just because of all the drama surrounding her, James, Jeffree, Shane, all of that. Because she's very wishy-washy back and forth, and during last year when we were in the middle of a pandemic, she decided to ignore the fact we were in a pandemic and just dig up old drama again from the previous year. So that really didn't sit too well with me. So I'm not the biggest fan of her right now, but I will say her palette is pretty amazing, and I do look forward to seeing what else comes from Tati Beauty. Then I just took the darker brown shade Ritual, the matte shade again, and we're stamping that on the outer corner and outer edge of that crease and just blending it up into the lighter brown shade that we already laid down. Just like that. Okay, so then what I want to do is take this little precision brush, go in with that dark brown matte shade again. We're just going to put a little bit on the outer edge underneath on the lower lid. Just a little bit, not too much. And you're just going to bring that over and blend it into the brown that you already had laid down. Just like that. And then take the lighter brown shade. We're going to bring that on the lower lid and just blend into that dark brown and finish off the lower lid. Just like that. Okay. Now as far as the rest of the lid, I think the shade I want to go in with is this one right here. It's Ritual, but it's the glitter formula. How pretty that is. So I like to use my finger for these. And I'm just gonna go in and just stamp that all over the lid. Get a little bit more. Just like that. Using my other finger and go in on the other eye. Just like that. I have not used glitter like this in a very long time, so I feel like I'm kind of back to myself a little bit here. Alright, actually, I want to open that back up, get a little bit more of that glitter. I want to bring it in closer to the inner corner a little bit, just because I did get some on this inner corner just to make the two sides match. And luckily this is a cosmetic glitter. It is specifically formulated to go on the eyes. So it is not cut with sharp edges, it is cut with more rounded edges. That way if it does get in your eye, it will not damage your eye like regular craft glitter can. So that is a very important thing to know. If you are going to use glitter, do not use regular craft glitter on your eyes. Alright, taking this precision brush again, we're going to go into the Platinum Ice highlighting palette from Jeffree Star. We're going to go into the white shade right here, which is called Ice Cold. One of his most famous shades of highlighter, I think. We're going to highlight the inner corner with it. So I know with this palette, there were two shades in it that were pre-released as Skin Frost shades in the single pan, which is Ice Cold, and Lavender Snow, which is the purple one. All of the other shades in this palette were exclusive to this palette, so you can only get them if you buy the entire highlighting palette. Alright, and then we'll do a little bit of mascara. So for that, I'm going to be using the Benefit Roller Lash. This is my favorite mascara. I need to get a new one because this one is almost empty. So I actually already had a little bit of this on, because I did put some on earlier today. But we have gotten foundation and everything else on my lashes now, so I'm just reapplying it. Alright, so there is that. Now we can do highlighter. I'm going to go in with this Ofra highlighter. This is the NikkieTutorials collab. It is Everglow. So this one, it is 3 shades in 1, and it is absolutely beautiful. I'm going to go in with this Moda highlighting brush, and I'm going to dip into the lightest shade over here. We're just going to highlight the cheekbones a little bit. Ofra highlighters are absolutely amazing. They are probably, besides Jeffree Star, they are my favorite highlighters. Okay, and then the nose. Go up the bridge of the nose. And do a little bit just in between the brows, fanning that up. And just a little bit right on the chin. Alright, and then for my lip shade, let's see. I don't know what I want to use. Okay, I think I'm just going to go in with this one right here. It's just a simple nude shade. It is called Celebrity Skin. It's from Jeffree Star Cosmetics. So and since we did such a bold eye look with all the glitter and stuff, I don't really want to do a super bold lip color. Because that would just be too much going on. Always remember that. If you do a bold eye look, you want to go in with an understated lip. If you do an understated eye look, then you want to go in with a bolder color on your lips. So I'm going to just leave this as matte. It is a matte formula lipstick. I usually would go in with a gloss over top of it, but again, because there's so much shimmer going on up here, I'm going to leave this matte. And just finish it off with a little bit of setting spray. This is Morphe Continuing Setting Mist. And that's it. Now this setting spray, it's good, but I do prefer the Urban Decay All Nighter. I just don't have all nighter money right now, so Morphe it is. It's half the price. And it is a pretty good setting spray. It's not as good, I don't think, but it is a pretty good product. And that's it. So please leave me a comment down below if you enjoyed this. This is a pretty simple look to do, not too difficult. And let me know if there's anything particular you guys would want to see me do or attempt, if there's any new challenges you want me to try, any specific looks you'd like to see, product reviews, product rankings, anything like that. Just let me know down below. Alright, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time around. Bye!